Hey everyone, I'm Scott Annan, founder of Ambitious Media, the internet's leading news site for success and inspiration. I'm here today in Las Vegas at Zappos corporate headquarters with the CEO of Zappos, Tony Hsieh. Tony, thanks for being here. It's really great for you to host this, and I appreciate very much your time. So, Tony is one of those guys that I would consider a Zen entrepreneur. He understands the economics of business, but also understands how to create an inspired workforce that delivers happiness both to its employees, but also to its customers and clients. Tony, I would imagine that most people today know what Zappos is all about. Seeing that we're here with you today, can you talk about what Zappos is about in your own words?
Sure. So most people, when they hear Zappos, their first thought is an online retailer of shoes, because that's how we started. But internally, we think of Zappos pretty differently. We have the same. We say we're a service company that happens to sell shoes, and we're hoping 10 years from now people won't even realize we started out selling shoes online. And in fact, today we carry a lot more than shoes. We carry clothing and beauty products, housewares, kitchenware, but it doesn't even have to be limited to online. We really just want our brand to be about the very best customer service and customer experience. So Virgin is one brand we look at that's kind of analogous to what we're trying to do. They're in a whole bunch of different industries, music, airlines, and so on. The difference is the Virgin brand is more about being hip and cool, whereas we just want to be about delivering the best service.
Great. And I know that Zappos has gained a lot of attention about its culture. Can you talk more about what makes Zappos culture so unique?
Yeah, for us, we've kind of formalized the definition of our culture into 10 core values. So if you Google Zappos core values, you'll find them. And for us, that's kind of the formalized definition of our culture. And we basically make all of our decisions based on whether we're living up to those core values. And our whole belief is that if we get the culture right, then most of the other stuff, like delivering great service or building a long-term enduring brand, will just happen naturally on its own. So for us, culture actually is, not only is it important, but it's our number one priority.
Right. How do you guys define success here, and how do you know when you achieve it?
That's a good question, because that's not a word that we actually use very much internally. So in thinking out loud about this, I guess I guess it would be about being able to have a business that is able to combine profits and passion and purpose. I think most businesses define themselves just by the profits that they are able to generate. And what's ironic about that is if you're focused solely on profits, then research from say Jim Collins, who wrote Good to Great, shows that that's actually in the long term will actually generate fewer profits than if you actually have a higher vision or greater purpose for the company beyond just profits or revenue or being number one in the market.
In Ambitious, we work with a lot of students in mentoring, and one of the things that I try to talk about is taking risk and being open to failure and being open to new opportunities. What type of advice would you give to students right now that either want to take more risk in their academic careers or that actually want to go out and start a business?
I would say just do it, and I can't even count how many stories I outline in my book. Let's just call it 10, right? 10 different stories of things that didn't always turn out the way you expected, but I think just realizing that that's part of the path. You can't, even if the first business that you decide to jump into fails, like instead of viewing it as a failure, just view it as that was, you got to do this 10 times and that was number one.
Right.
And
to get to that point.
And then, but from each one, make sure that you learn something from that, because the ultimate goal is you want these 10 learnings, and then you're ready to apply all of them to a bigger business.
And I know one of the other things you talk about is passion, and I feel like there are a lot of people out there today that have that passion but don't necessarily know how to apply it. How did you really key into what you were passionate about and then take action on that?
Well, I mean, for people that already know what they're passionate about, it's just do it.
Just do it.
And you know, I think I come across a lot of people that are passionate about something, but they're like, oh, I could never, you know, turn that into a business or whatever. Part of the problem is like if in your head you're passionate about something, but if you actually add up the number of minutes, it's probably minutes and not even an hour per week that you're actually spending thinking
Right.
about it or doing stuff, versus like if you just actually, you know, commit to spending 20 hours, 40 hours, 60 hours, whatever, to actually doing something about your passion, you know, that's how you're going to eventually figure it out.
Going back to entrepreneurship for a second, we typically, you know, think of entrepreneurship as all about economics, but I think in starting a business, clearly as you talk about in your book, there's a lot of emotional ups and downs too. And I think anytime you take a risk, you really have to be prepared to deal with that emotional roller coaster ride. What would you tell people about what to expect in starting something, whether it's a business or putting yourself out there and really taking a risk about managing those emotions?
I would say, well, first of all, before getting into your business, just make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, that money is not your primary motivator. Because if it is, you know, you're not going to be able to ride the roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
And think about what you would be so passionate about doing that you would be happy doing it for 10 years, even if you never made it done. Just know that the ups and downs that just comes with the territory. Over time, you'll learn to just kind of have the confidence of, even though you don't know what the solution is, that you'll figure it out just because you have to.
Right.
And I think that kind of entrepreneurial optimism is really, more than anything else, the thing you need to grow and cultivate as an entrepreneur.